That's the theme of our seminar tonight. The major key to your better future is you. And I'd like to have you underline two words just to give it some added punch. Underline the word major and the word you, so that it reads, the major key to your better future is you. Now, my first suggestion is transfer this to a card or something where you can put it up, where you can see it every day. Preferably put it up where you can see it at the beginning of the day, before you go off to put the day together. This is a good phrase just to glance at, to keep in mind as you're putting the day together. It's called the silent seminar. If you'll just let this talk to you during the day, I found it to be tremendously helpful. The major key to your better future is you. For a big share of my life now, I didn't have this one quite figured out. Among a lot of things I didn't have quite figured out. Many things used to puzzle me back in those early days. I used to wonder why two people could work for the same company, one make twice as much money. Now, see, that used to puzzle me. And maybe they were the same age, graduated from the same school, live in the same community, work for the same company, with the same products and the same services. They've got the same traffic, the same problems, and one makes $1,000 a month, the other one makes $2,000 a month. Now, that was my puzzling question. Why would this long list be the same and the money twice as much? I asked, what's the difference between $1,000 a month and $2,000 a month? And I don't mean $1,000 a month, right? I could figure that out. But what makes the difference? Why would one person do twice as well, 3 times as well? Speaking economically. Now, I know there's more than one way to do well. I understand that. But in this little narrow area called compensation, what's the difference? Well, back then, with my faulty thinking, I'm trying to reason it out. I thought, well, maybe time makes some of the difference, right? Some people do better because they have more time. I used to say, Harold ought to be able to do well. He's got a lot of time. If I had all of Harold's time, I could do well. Now, that's got to be dumb, right? Number one, you can't get somebody else's time. A guy says to me one time, he says, you know, if I had some extra time, I could make some extra money. I said, then forget it. There isn't any extra time. Hey, when the clock strikes 12 midnight, that about wraps it up, right? I mean, you can look around the gongs there for a little more, but it's over. You say to the guy, what are you doing? He says, I'm looking for extra time. See, they'll come and take you away, right? There isn't any more time. Now, if you can't get more time, which you can't, what could you get more of that would make a difference in economic results? And here's the key word. Make it a part of your notes. We're going to consider it tonight. The word is value. And I have a little phrase for your notes. Value makes the difference in results. Value makes the difference. You can't get more time, but you can create more value. Now, here's the first lesson of economics. Everybody should learn it from the time they're old enough to understand what a dollar means, how to earn one, how to get one, how to keep one, what to do with it. First lesson of economics. We primarily get paid for value. That's lesson 1. Bringing value to the marketplace, that's how you get paid. You don't get paid for the time. I know it takes time to bring value to the marketplace, but you get paid for the value, not the time. Now, since that's true, here's one of the key questions of the evening. Is it possible to become twice as valuable at the marketplace and make twice as much money in the same time? Could you become 3 times as valuable? Make 3 times as much money in the same time? Is that possible? The answer is yes, if. And it's always if, right? Life is known as the big if. Harry Truman once said, life is iffy. How true. And here's the big if we're going to consider it tonight. It's possible to do much better at the marketplace if you go to work primarily on yourself. And that's the theme of our seminar tonight. Learning to work primarily on yourself. People have asked me for the last 24 years, how do you develop an above average income? And the answer is, become an above average person. Develop an above average handshake. Some people want to be successful, they don't even work on their handshake. As easy as that would be to start on. They let it slide, they don't understand. Develop an above average smile. Develop an above average excitement. Develop an above average interest in other people. Develop an above average intensity to win. See, that'll change everything. Probably one of the most frustrating experiences in life is looking for an above average job with above average pay without becoming an above average person. It's called frustration. And Mr. Schoaf gave me probably the greatest clue he gave me when I first met him. He said, Jim, if you want to be wealthy and happy the rest of your life, just learn this lesson well. He said, learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Then Mr. Schoaf gave me probably one of the most important clues among so many things he taught me, but this was in those early days. Mr. Schoaf was very kind, but he was also very abrupt. And he had these interesting questions to ask. I'm giving him a little rundown one day on how things hadn't worked out for me. He said, Mr. Owen, I've got the answer for you if you will listen carefully. And listen carefully I did that day and for the next 5 years. If somebody's wealthy and happy, you gotta listen. He said, Jim, I've only known you a short time. But he said, it's already my honest opinion that for things to change for you, you've got to change. That wasn't quite the answer I was looking for. But that's the answer he gave me, and I pass it along to you on this warm summer evening in Anaheim, California, 1981. For things to change for you, you've got to change. Otherwise, it isn't going to change. Before I met Mr. Schoaf, I used to say, I sure hope things will change. Right? That seemed to be my only hope. If it isn't going to change, I'm in serious trouble. And then I discovered it isn't going to change, so I'm in serious trouble. See, I can tell you what the 80s are going to be like. You have dropped into the right place. I did a seminar one time for Standard Oil executives and management in Honolulu. And we're having a conference one day on this big conference table. And one of them said to me, Mr. Rohn, you know some fairly important people halfway around the world. What do you think the 80s are going to be like? I said, gentlemen, I do know the right people. I can't tell you. So they all listened very carefully. And I said, gentlemen, based on my wide experience, I can really honestly say to you, in my opinion, in the 80s, it's going to be about like it's always been. Aren't you glad you came? That's inside. I don't pass that around just everywhere. Now, of course, I said that to make a point, but I also said it because it's accurate. It's going to be about like it's always been. It isn't going to change. The tide comes in, and then what? It goes out for 6,500 years that we know of, recorded history, and probably long before that. So it is not going to change. It gets light, and then what? It turns dark. 6,500 years. See, it's not likely to change. And we're not to be startled by that. If the sun goes down, the guy says, what's happened, what's happened? It means he hasn't been here long, I guess, right? It always goes down about this time. The guy says, well, I don't like that arrangement. Well, you got to talk to somebody besides me, right? It gets light, then it turns dark. In rotation, the next season after fall is what? Winter. Pray tell, how often does winter follow fall? Every year regularly for the last 6,500 that we know of. See, it is not going to change. Now, some winters are long, and some are short, and some are hard, and some are easy, but they always come right after falls. It isn't going to change.
All right, guys, we're going to start in 60 seconds. So share the word. We do a Q&A. If you call, start thinking of some questions that you may want to ask me, because I wanted to make sure that we spread the word all over and let everybody know that we are going to be talking about just basically making sure that I communicate with you guys, connect with you guys, and make sure that, you know, I answer some of your questions, fam. So it's been a while, so we'll start in 60 seconds, man. I know we started up a little bit later, but I want to make sure that we get everybody on here, right, fam? So 60 seconds.
Sometimes you can figure it out. Sometimes there's no way to figure it out. Sometimes it goes well. Sometimes it gets in a knot. Sometimes it sails along. Sometimes it gets in reverse. See, that's not going to change. The last 6,000 years reads like this: opportunity mixed with difficulty. That's how it reads. It isn't going to change. The man says, well, if it isn't going to change, how will my life ever change? Answer, when you change. And whether I'm talking to high school kids or business executives, my message is always the same. And it goes like this: the only way it gets better for you is when you get better. Let me give you the 4 major lessons in life to learn. Here's 4 majors. It's good to study the majors. In our weekend seminar, we teach. Some people don't do well because they major in minor things. You've got to be on the lookout. At the end of every week, end of every month, you've got to check, make sure you're not spending major time on minor things. Hey, we go through that whole series. Majors and minors. Now, let me give you 2 phrases before we get to the 4 majors. This will set it up and you'll see where I'm going. 2 key phrases for your notes. Here's the first one. Life and business is like the changing seasons. That's the first phrase. Life and business is like the changing seasons.
All right, familia, what's goody? How is everybody feeling here today? I am blessed. I am excited to be on this call. I see my brother Big Fads is on here with me. Is that Big Fads I see there? I said Big Fads, TTP. But I'm blessed. I'm super grateful to be on this call with each and every single one of you guys. I wanted to do a Q&A today because I was like, man, it's been a while since I actually did a Q&A with the family. And I think that it's, you know, very valuable to do those, you know, to make sure that I'm connecting with the team and the family and hearing you guys out and just making sure that I'm answering the questions that you guys also have. I think that is very key for us to do so. And I'm very, very excited. So some of us are on Zoom, some of us are on YouTube, but regardless, I wanted to make sure that, you know, the message was clear. I wanted to dedicate a Friday to connect with you guys. And, you know, I think that it's important that we do these. And I love when we do these because I get to see some of your faces. I get to meet some of you guys. I also get to answer some of the questions that you may be dealing with. So if you're on this call right now, majority of the questions that I will be asking will be on Zoom. If you're on YouTube, you know, obviously I can't answer your question because I'm going to be bringing up the person live and we're going to be running it like that. So we'll probably run a Q&A for about, I would say at least 45 minutes, at least till 11:15. So I'm very, very excited for this and everything that is coming for us. But let's get this call started. Real quick, before we do get right into it, let's make sure that we do express some gratitude. What is one thing that you guys are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box. I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my mind, my body, and my spirit. I'm grateful for, my family, my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dadiana. I'm extremely grateful for all the amazing things that are happening in my life right now. I'm grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for my team and the leaders within my organization. I'm grateful for the life that I'm currently living right now. I'm grateful for my morning routine this morning. I'm grateful for the books, the audios, the information that I have access to. I'm grateful for my day one brothers. I'm grateful for my mentors. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for the healthy food I get a chance to eat on a day-to-day basis. I'm grateful for my ability to speak. I'm grateful for my ability to walk. I'm grateful for all of the great things that are happening in my life. So I thank you guys all so much for taking the time to jump on today's call. And let's get started with this Q&A. Okay, so just to give you guys a breakdown of how this Q&A is going to go. Okay, the Q&A is going to go as such. All right, this is what it is. Okay, so we can get to as many people. Everybody needs to understand this. For rules for the Q&A. Okay, rules. All right. Number one, everyone will have 2 minutes to share. All right, everyone will have 2 minutes to share. Okay. First thing you got to do, okay, is everyone will have 2 minutes. And before you ask me a question, I want to know what is one thing that you've learned. One thing you've learned on Mornings with Neno. And also, okay, one thing you've learned on Mornings with Neno. And one thing you love about Mornings with Neno. And then the third thing is ask an intentional question. These are the 3 rules. So rules for the Q&A. Number 1, everyone will have 2 minutes. Number 2, I want you to share what's one thing you've learned and one thing you love about Mornings with Neno. Okay, and the last thing is ask an intentional question and I will give you the answer. Okay, so if everybody agrees with this, if everybody's good with this, type a 3 in the chat box. Okay, type a 3 in the chat box if so and so. Okay, now what I'm going to be doing is to make it fair. All right, I'm gonna pick 1 and 1. I'll pick 1 female, 1 male, 1 female, 1 male, 1 woman, 1 man. Right, I'm gonna do 1 of each. Okay, I'll do 1 and 1. Okay, super easy, very simple. All right, dope. Okay, so if you want to ask me a question on Zoom, all you have to do is raise your hand. Okay, raise your hand. And I'm not sure how to do it through the phone, but if you have a question, raise your hand and I will be answering any questions that you guys may have. Now you will have to come on. You got to have your camera on and we got to make sure that we get this rocking and ready to go. Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's see who we have here. I'm going to start off women first. I'm going to start off with Mary. So Mary, you are up. I'm going to replace the pin and take the floor, sister. Talk to me. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
I'm blessed and grateful. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So just to get into it, the best thing that I believe that I've learned watching you is getting a good morning routine. I used to just wake up and go about my day, didn't have any intentions. So I would say that morning routine. You've really kind of input it into my mindset. And I've been doing morning routines now for today's my 34th day. So I'm doing a 90-day run, a challenge with my team, my squad. And it's beautiful. It's a big blessing to me. So thank you very much, Neno. I enjoy your mornings, Monday through Friday, and your call is the end to my morning routine. So thank you for that. I love the community. I love your energy. I love your just how you make things change in people's minds. I've been doing personal development for about 4 months now, so it's definitely different. One of my squad members kind of put me on to your videos, so thank you, Donnie, for doing that. I hope he's on this call. So
Shout out to
just
Donnie.
yeah, Donnie. Just my question is, I'm a mother of four. I've had two older men who are my oldest kids, but I have 16 and 14-year-old. And I have a hard time kind of managing my study, my calls, my just daily spending time with them. So I haven't gotten on a good like set routine with, hey, I'm going to spend so much time with my family during the week. I just what can I do to try to better that? I mean, should I set certain hours? I know you've talked about that prior in your videos as well. So just need a little bit of feedback, maybe just to kind of separate my family time with my business.
Yes, Mary. Well, first off, I want to say thank you so much for the constant love and support. I'm very proud of you. You have over 30 plus days running the play with your morning routine. So I'm sure you're feeling great, and I really appreciate all the love and the support. To answer your question, I had a very similar issue. I don't have 4 kids, but, I have a family and I have a mom and a dad that when I do come to New York, I like to spend time with them. And sometimes, so much work, so much phone calls, and so many things that happen. I tend to not, spend any time with them. And then by the time I want to spend time with them, which is at the end of the day, it's already too late and they're already going to sleep. So I would realize that I would be home all day and I wouldn't even talk to my parents. So what I started to do was, I started to set a time that every day at that time, I was not going to do calls. I was not going to do trainings. I was going to dedicate that time to family time. And that time is from 5 to 7 o'clock usually. From 5 to 7 o'clock every day at my house for the most part, except for Mondays and Thursdays, which I usually have a leadership call at that time. From 5 to 7 o'clock on those at that time, that's family time for me. So that's the time that I take, to sit down and, come and talk to my dad and see how his day was, and, sit down and have dinner with the family, watch the news with them. They watch the news, or I watch a baseball game with my dad and stuff like that. And what I've done is I've made it a priority that during that time is for family. That time is for my mom and my dad, because I don't come home a lot. And when I am home, I've taken the time this summer to be home. And then I'm going to be on the road now. Next week, I'm actually going on the road, and I'm going to be on the road for probably the rest of the year. I make it a priority to spend that time with family. And, I think it's just kind of like finding that time in your schedule that works best for you, right? And being intentional and being present during that time, right? Because, there were times that I would be like, okay, from 5 to 7, I'm going to go spend time with my family. But then from 5 to 7, I'll be spending time with them, but I'll be on my phone answering calls and texting and on Instagram. And it wasn't intentional. It had to be something that usually from 5 to 7, I'll leave my phone in my room, and I would come in without no phone to the dinner table and have fun with them and talk with them and have a beer with my mom and dad and just kind of really be present and enjoy it. And you'll start to realize that those things actually fill your heart up. And it actually makes me want to go harder, right? Because I get to sit down and talk to them and hear the way that they speak and hear the way that they talk about their jobs and all of this stuff. And it really like fills my heart back up and really like gives me that real inspiration that, yo, I got to wake up tomorrow and I got to do it again because I got to get him out of the situation. I got to turn this apartment into a house. And, you know, it kind of gives you that inspiration to want to go harder. So what I would say is find that rhythm on a day-to-day basis that you can squeeze in that hour or two into your family. Like it's called time blocking, right? That time is blocked. No calls, no trainings, no phone call, nobody, nothing can come in between that time. For me, from 5 to 7, that's my time. You know, I won't take a call during that time. I won't do a training during that time. Like that time is very, very sacred for me, except for Mondays and Thursday. I make an exception for it because I have a leadership call on that day. But besides that, every day, that time is dedicated for family. And then on the weekends, you know, try to do something special with them, you know. That's always something good that I would recommend because you have kids.
Right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Neno.
Yes. Great question, by the way. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. Appreciate you. Where are you from, Mary?
From Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas in the building. Let's go. Awesome. Well, guys, connect with Mary if you guys are in Austin. I already know she's amazing. So I'm very, very grateful for you, fam. Thank you so much for the love. Awesome. All right, let's see who we got here. I'm gonna do Justin next. The one and only Justin. What's up, bro? Introduce yourself, name, where you from?
I most definitely, Nina. I just gotta give my gratitude to you, because honestly, you honestly changed my life. But I'm 25. I'm from Maryland. Big shout out to Gianna Johnson in the chat. She actually put me on to Mornings with Neno. And I've been consistent. One of the things that, you know, I learned a lot with Mornings with Neno is my morning routine. Like today is actually day 252 of my morning routine.
Let's go.
Since January 1st of this year, I haven't stopped. But my biggest question to you, Neno, because you are a testament to your morning routine. How would you go about, because I'm going to be in Arizona next week. So how do you go about different events and being out of state? And even if the devil is maybe working with you, you know, trying to tap her in your, you know, you're not tapping into your morning routine or the things that you know you need to get done. How would you go about like your feedback, even though there are days where, even though I didn't do my morning routine, took out 30 minutes to pour into myself. If that was meditating, if that was personal development, if that was reading. So that's honestly my question to you. You know, that's honestly something I'm going and working on every single day.
Can you repeat the question and kind of like shorter? Because I kind of got like multiple different questions. So can you repeat it in a way where I can understand it, just like a one question thing?
Yeah. So my question is, how do you like still be attentional to your goals, even if the devil's working with you, the distractions? So that's my question.
That's a phenomenal question. So the first thing is you got to have the awareness, right? I'm glad that you asked me that because I feel like lately as well, I've been attacked with the morning routine, because when you're on your way to do amazing things, you know, it's not going to be a smooth ride to the top. It's not going to be a smooth ride to get to where you want to go to. And when you're on that road, remember that negative entity wants to keep you for as long as they can. So they're going to distract you with the things that they know that they can get you in, right? He knows he can't get you with the morning routine anymore because you got that, right? He knows that every day you take time to pour into yourself, and he doesn't like that. So what he's going to do is he's going to attack you in other areas where he knows he can distract you. He'll distract you with your friends. He'll distract you with a party. He'll distract you with girls. He'll distract you with different type of things to see which one of the ones are the ones that you're going to fall for so that he can continue to pour into. So you got to be aware of that, because that's something that I'm aware of, right? You know, you got to realize that when you're on your way to success, there's going to be obstacles along the way that are going to be there to stop you or are going to be there to make you stronger. And you got to choose, okay, am I going to allow this obstacle to stop me, or am I going to allow this obstacle to make me stronger? Right? Because if you're able to get through that obstacle, then it makes you stronger. If you let it become better than you, then it makes you weaker. And then it'll be a pretty good chance that you're probably going to end up stopping. You're going to get discouraged. And that's what he wants. But what God wants you to do is he wants you to overcome that obstacle. This is a distraction in your life. And sometimes I don't even like to give the devil energy or any of that stuff. In reality, I just say, is God doing it? Right? I just say, is God putting this distraction in my way so he can teach me how to get through it? Teach me how to get through this challenge. Teach me how to get through this obstacle, right? So I never like to even give energy to the devil or the demons or anything. I just say, it's God. Yo, it's God putting this obstacle in my life. It's God putting this situation in my life. It's God, putting this person in my life so I can learn from that situation, okay? And I cannot allow it, because if I allow it to distract me now, it's going to distract me later. So you kind of have to look at it as, okay, this is a perfect opportunity for me to grow. This is a perfect opportunity for me to overcome this obstacle, right? And don't look at it as being attacked. Look at it as a chance to grow. And that's how you're going to be able to, oversee the challenge that you feel like you're going through. And trust me, if it's because you're going to convention next week or whatever it is, just know that there's something huge out there for you that somebody may not want you to have, but God does want you to have that, but you need to get focused before you go out there. So my best advice is look at it as a positive, harvest the good from it, and just overcome that obstacle, and you're going to grow through it, bro.
Thank you so much, Nino. I really got a lot of value from that. Thank you so much. And I'm just so grateful for you, bro.
God bless, my brother. I'm grateful, bro. Keep pushing. Remember, God is putting those obstacles in your life to make you stronger, bro. There's bigger blessings coming your way. And trust me, it's going to come, fam, for sure.
Thank you.
Great question by my brother, Justin. Let's go. I'm going to do Titi next, because lately I've been listening a lot to Titi Me Preguntó. So I really love that song, and I love your name. So Titi Castro, the floor is yours. Introduce yourself. Where are you from? What's your name?
Hi, everybody. My name is Titi. I've been called Titi since
Excellent.
I have memory. I'm from New Jersey. I live in New Jersey, but I'm currently from Ecuador. First of all, Nano, I want to say thank you for your mornings. Your calls have been such a blessing for me. I connected with Ana Rojas. She was the one that brought me here, and since day one, she's been sending me the links for the calls. So there's not one day that she doesn't send me the link. And since I got on the calls, I got back to God. I was raised Catholic, but when I got here, all my friends will make fun of me because in my free time, I will pray to God. I will sing to him, or in my mornings, that's the first song that I will play. My playlist, you will listen to any Catholic song. So even my boyfriends, they were like, oh, why do you listen to these depressing songs? And I was like, these are not depressing. This bring me back to life. So reconnecting to a community that is so closer to God, for me, has been just taught me to live in a grateful life. I wake up so grateful, even though there's days that I have so much going on. I am just so grateful to be here. And I am grateful that every day I have a new opportunity to be whatever I want, because that's the beautiful thing about this. And with your calls, that's one thing that you've shown me that I can do, and I can challenge myself to do whatever. And that there's nothing that is going to stop me if I have God and if I have me. So that's one thing that I love about your calls, that you always start saying, you have so many things that you're thankful for. And there are sometimes those are little things that we take for granted. So that every time at 10 a.m., I just wake up grateful for everything. And I feel like that's great. And nobody has ever touched like that part of me, that I'm just so grateful to like breathe, to have my family, to have like things that you already like know that you have, but like you don't think enough, because you're pretty sure that you have this tomorrow, but you never know. So, you know, one day you can wake up healthy and the next day, you know, something comes up. So having that in perspective, I'm just being grateful for being here, is something that I will never I cannot thank you enough for like bringing that to my life. Because if it wasn't for this calls, I would probably will just wake up and like do whatever, you know. But now I wake up with gratitude. I started like journaling again. I started reading again. And if it was not for this, that like honestly, I feel like Anna came into my life in the right moment, and then boom, Nano. And then you like impacted me in such a big way that like I cannot explain. So I want to like, I know you have a lot of people like saying this to you, but like I couldn't have like the chance. I was telling Anna, I was like, oh my God, I wish I can meet him, because I can't wait to thank him for this. Because like you literally brought to my life like oxygen. And I feel like there should be more people that do this.
Thankful. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, for real.
And then, well, my question is, I know like, you know, you have your morning routine, but sometimes like there's a lot of things that get in your way. So how do you stay like so focused? Because like for me, discipline has been something like really hard, and motivation, I know that is not something that you have every day. So how do you like maintain your discipline? Like some tips on that, I would love.
Yeah, Titi, that was a great question. And, you know, I'm blessed and grateful to have people like you that are so appreciative of the information and just what these calls have done for you, because what my morning routine has done for me is what it's doing for you. It like you said, it just kind of gave me that breath of fresh air, and I feel so thankful. And, you know, it's gotten me closer to God, and it has opened up doors for me that, you know, I never thought, you know, I could even open. And, you know, I'm super grateful. But to answer your question on, you know, what are ways that I keep myself just not just motivated, but just disciplined throughout the whole entire time is, you know, I've had experiences in the past where one day has cost me a lot, right? And I understand the importance of one day, right? And I want to say that right there, understanding the importance of slipping up one day. Sometimes that one day could be the one day that leads to, you know, a snowball effect towards a slump, because one day of a slip up can lead to the second day, to the third, to the fourth, to a week, to 2 weeks, to a month, 3 months, next thing you know. So what I realized is that it's okay to take a day off sometimes. And I don't want you to ever feel bad for taking a day off, right? Like if there's a day that you're like, you know what, today I'm not going to read, I'm not going to journal, I'm not going to do anything, I'm going to just be titi today. You know, that's okay. What you never want to do is get in the habit of just doing that, right? You got to be able to catch yourself one day, allow that one day, and then boom, the next day, right back to it, right? Because we need those days of recharging. We need those days to just be us and just be able. And sometimes what tends to happen, Titi, is that, and I've realized this myself, is that sometimes we're going so much, and we want to accomplish things so hard, and we want to be so consistent that sometimes we forget that we need to recharge ourselves while we're on the road to success. And sometimes taking that day to recharge and not do anything is very key. Like there's days that I don't do anything, right? Not recently, I haven't done it recently, but there's days that I literally, when I tell you, Titi, I don't do nothing. Like I just wake up when I'm done sleeping and I'm just lazy the whole day, and I'm in bed, I'm talking to my mom, I'm watching Netflix. You know, I just need time to just be me, you know, just let me do whatever I want. If I want to be on YouTube all day and watching videos and watching Netflix all day, then I'll do it. Because sometimes we just need those moments, you know, we just need those things. So what I will tell you is, you know, find moments throughout the month where you're going to do that, right? Kind of like those recharge moments, right? Because yes, we're on a run to success, but we can't forget to recharge ourselves, because it's like a car who keeps going nonstop and never stops to recharge itself. Eventually it's going to catch up and it's going to stop and it's going to die because it runs out of gas. And if you don't stop and recharge, you can run out of gas. Okay. So, what I would say is, if you stop to run out of gas, stop and get some gas, but don't stay at the gas station. A lot of people stay at the gas station and they just like to chill at the gas station and they stay there for too long, right? Stop, get your gas and keep going, right? And that will help you a lot more with your discipline, because since you recharge, now you'll be ready for another 10 days, another 15 days, another 21 days. And you got to listen to your body, right? Right now, I've been listening to my body, and I feel like I know that I'm gonna need one of those days very soon, because I'm at 47 days basically without taking a day off. So I might take one of those days this weekend, or maybe coming up next weekend, with conventioning happening, where I could just recharge and just kind of get myself ready for the next 40 to 50 days, right? Because I understand how important it is for me to finish this. So a little recharge day is always needed so that you can continue with your discipline and remind yourself of how far you've come. How consistent have you been in your run so far? Do you know how many days?
So I just started. Today is my day 17.
Okay. And
But
you haven't taken a day off yet, right?
I took a day off. I suffer from POS, so when that hits me, I'm just like not a human. So okay. I just listen to my body. My body is like, don't move. I don't do it. But even that, from there, like I try to do my morning routines, like, my journaling, my listening. Like I'm very responsible with that. Even though I'm in pain, I'll be in pain, but like in bed listening to the podcast.
Yeah, and also doing things that you love also as well, going out to the park, going out and getting a meal that you've always wanted, going out and doing things that, fill your heart up are also very key for that recharging as well. But that's something that has helped me a lot with my discipline is I find days when I recharge, and then when I recharge, it almost feels like it almost feels like day one again when I start all over the next day. So I would say is find days in your journey to recharge, and it'll help a lot for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so for the great. Let me put the time down. For some reason, I can't see faces. There we go. All right, I'm gonna do K-Flex. K-Flame, you're up, brother. Talk to me.
You guys can hear me?
Yep.
What's up, everybody? Kyle from West Palm Beach, Florida. Been following Nano for about 3 months, a little over 2 months now. Every single day. I'm sure Nano's seen me on his calls. Basically, I just want to thank Nano to start off every single day. Somebody's not muted.
Yeah, let me unmute my bad.
It's all right.
Where are you?
I just want to thank you, Nano. You've been like a really big inspiration for me. It's like, I wanted to give you an analogy. It's like a firework that's like, it needs to get lit in order for it to go off. And you've been that ignition for me, like that spark. Like everything that you talk about, all your lessons is stuff that I live, on a regular basis, even before I started with Nano. But hearing you say it, like I said, is just that spark. It really just sent me to the position I'm in now. I've been in business for myself 10 years, but everything that you've taught me since I've been, on your calls has been like a life changer. And I really appreciate that. Just like TT said, I think also that it's like, people say it to you and you probably hear it a lot that, what you do impacts us, but I don't think you know how like serious it is and how deep it really is. And so I think what you did today is going to help us be able to give that gratitude back to you and really make you understand I mean, my voice is a little shaky. Sorry, because I'm a little nervous, but
Nah, you good, bro. Thank you so much for that, though, bro. It means a lot, for real.
yeah. And I know I told you I live in West Palm. I know you're going to be moving to Miami soon, so we're definitely going to be linking up. I'll see you in
Yeah,
Arizona next week, also.
100%. Yeah, for 100%.
So what I learned for the most part from you is working on my self-development and working on my leadership skills as well as spiritual, all on keeping it all balanced, trying to work on everything at the same time, and that if I don't work on all those things together, that I won't be able to impact the people that I need to in the way that, like, in my highest potential, untapped potential, like you talked about. If I don't work on my best self and become my best self, how can I get people underneath me to their best self? You know what I mean? Um, Basically, that was the main thing that I've always learned from you. What I wanted to ask you is, how do you stay so humble after achieving all the success that you've achieved?
Man, it's a great question. I feel like my humility a lot comes from, my family, my parents, but also a lot of my mentors, my mentor, Matt Rosa, is one of the humblest people that I know. And, he's always been a great example for me because, growing up where I grow up, the moment that you get money, it's flexing time. It's let's go buy the car, let's go buy the houses, let's go flex and buy all the designer and all of this stuff. But, I've had a lot of great mentors around me that have, gave me the best advice, and they have made the mistakes that, that they don't want me to make. And they've always told me, like, yo, if you ever whenever you start to accomplish that success, you got to remember that it's not about pleasing other people. It's not about pleasing the world and, fronting to everybody that you're making money and that all of this is about making sure that your family is good first. So, for me is like, I don't need to flex what I have or how much money I've made or, all these things, because at the end of the day, I got a family, I got to retire. I got people counting on me. I don't want to seem like I'm different than anybody else. I jump on this call with regular t-shirts and no jewelry on and my hair all over the place to show people that I'm no different than anybody, right? Because I don't ever want to seem like I'm above anybody, right? I want everybody to look at me at a leveled field. Like, yo, Nano's right here with me. Like, I still hang out with my friends that I grew up with. I still go to the same stores and I have a beer with, the old people that watched me grow up, because, I never forget where I came from. And something that always stuck with me was, the moment forget where you came from, you are already on your way there. And that always stuck with me, right? Never forget where you came from, because the moment you do, you're already on your way back there. Okay. And even though I've accomplished all the success that I have, I always remember where I came from. I always remember my roots. I remember the humble beginnings. And I always made a pact to myself to always stay humble, regardless of how much money I make, the cars that I buy, the places that I go to. Always, always, always stay humble, because I can always stay relatable with everybody. And as long as I'm humble, I'm able to make a bigger impact on everybody around me. If I start to get arrogant and I start to think that I'm better than people, people won't follow me. People won't want to listen to me. People won't want to be around me. And I won't be able to make, my impact and serve God's purpose, because I got arrogant. I let my ego get the best of me, and another thing, I want to learn from people's experiences, right? They say that there's two ways you learn. You learn from your experiences, or you learn from other people's experiences. I've watched people get arrogant. I've watched people get, feel like they're better than everybody. And I've seen God humble them, bro. Like, humble them, like take everything from them, because they grew an ego once they started to get money and once they started to accomplish success. So just even me seeing that, I'm like, man, I've seen that happen, not just to one person, but I've seen it to happen to hundreds of people, where people, they start to get some success and they lose their humility, and God humbles them ASAP. Like, when I'm telling you, Flame, ASAP, they get humbled. So I've learned from those experiences. I'm like, bro, I'm going to get success, but I'm not going to be that. I'm going to be humble now and be humble when I'm there, because God doesn't need to humble me, because I'm already humble. And that has always stuck with me, bro. So that's the reason why I stay humble, bro. You know, I never forget where I came from. I'm grateful from where I'm from, and I'll never forget it, you know, because if it wasn't for my humble beginnings, I wouldn't be the person that I am today, bro, you know. So I feel like money is just gonna show people how much more humbler I am and how much more I want to help people. I'll never have an ego. I'll never have this arrogance to me as well, because I have people around me that will always remind me, if it ever does try, I have people around me that will humble me real quick and bring me back to earth, just in case, you know, my head ever gets too big, you know. But, you know, I'm grateful that I have those people around me. I'm grateful that I have family and all this stuff. But yeah, humility is the key to everything, bro, for real.
Thank you for that, man. That was a great response. I appreciate it, because I worry about that myself. I've been successful, but I'm going to level up, and I know that that's coming, but I'm worried that I'll lose myself in the process, you know?
Yeah, bro, you just got to keep God in the center always, bro. You know, don't, you shouldn't even worry at all that anything is going to happen. As long as you keep God in the center, and you remember that, you know, exactly where you came from, and you never, ever forget that, and you stay humble, and you make sure that no matter what happens, you know, you always give all the glory to God, bro. Never forget, because at the end of the day, that's what I always remember. I'm like, bro, none of this is mine. God gave this to me. You know, like, who am I to act like I'm the, you know, like I'm the and all of this stuff when God gave this to me? You know, none of this that I have would ever happen if it wasn't for God. So, you know, if you're being arrogant with things that God gave you, God can easily take it away from you, you know? So just give all the glory back, and make sure that with what he does give you, you're able to serve your purpose more, because the reason he gives it to you is so that you can go out there and be a better version of yourself. And that's what this is all about for at the end of the day.
Thank you.
Always, fam.
I'll always be following you, bro. Can't wait till you move back.
Yeah, man. I'll be back at the end of the year for sure. Appreciate you, bro. Next person up, we're gonna do Iman. Let me see right here. Axa unmute, and then add spotlight. Introduce yourself, please.
Hey everyone. Oh my gosh. My name is Iman. I'm in Houston. Hey Nano, this is crazy. This is really crazy. Okay, I know I only have 2 minutes, but there's so many details and so many changes that have happened in my life since I've been introduced to your calls. I've been on Mornings with Nano for 13 months now, and my life has just done a complete 360. If you saw where I was, even just in March of this year from where I am now, you'd be like, who the heck is this person? How did this happen? So the thing that I've learned, how powerful intentional doing is, just the energy behind our actions and how important that is. I think that being on the call for 13 months, I did get into a place where I was just doing things, and it was habitually, but I kind of lost the feeling behind my morning routine. And I was wondering for a while, I was like, man, I'm doing all these things. I don't know what's happening. I feel like nothing's shifting. And then that's when I started paying more attention to the energy and just making sure that I was intentional behind everything that I did. And then what I love is the accountability that you impress upon us, but you do it with grace. I love that you emphasize that it takes time to change. And a lot of people, you know, the 95%, they don't realize that it takes time to change. So a lot of times people are judging your process, judging your progress. And we can even do that ourselves, be our worst own critics. And for me, that was me for a while, just beating myself up about the change and why it was taking so long for me to understand everything. But I really value the fact that you have so much grace behind the patience, and you're able to teach us based off of what you went through. And I hope that made sense. I'm hoping that I'm making sense right now.
It's making a lot of sense.
Okay. And the question that I have is, I tried to write it out. I'm trying to simplify it as best as I can. But when you see and you start to receive and attract the abundance in your life, let's say like you go from lack to abundance, things are flowing, your manifestations are happening. Once those things start to happen, I guess this is a kind of what would you do or what did you do kind of question. Do you go straight to that penthouse that you've been visualizing for days and days and days, or do you wait, taking the bucket strategy that you taught us? Do you wait and take that into account before you just start jumping into, I guess, the chief aim? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's a great question. I want to thank you first for all the amazing things that you said that you've learned and the things that you love about Mornings with Nano. I'm glad that you know that I hold you guys accountable with grace and that it does take time. But to answer your question, you gotta there's a receiving process, right? So it's you ask, you receive, and then there's one more, which is allow. Right. Mm-hmm. And when you ask, you say, hey, I want a certain amount of money, right? Mm-hmm. You'll receive, the opportunity and the people and the circumstances to do it. But the hard part that people have is the allowing, right? And the allowing comes from being on the frequency to allow. You can't allow the success that you want if you don't have the frequency to allow it in. A lot of people sometimes ask, right? They'll ask for something and they'll receive it because in the frequency to allow, they'll never get it. Okay. So this is why the morning routine is so key, because the morning routine raises your vibration. It raises your frequency. And once you're in that frequency, you're naturally in a state of allowing because you're vibrating high. You've been doing your routine for weeks and weeks and weeks on weeks. So it's easy for you to allow and it's easy for you to see. Now, based off of what you do is going to be based off of what kind of like what your intuition tells you. Your intuition will tell you, go get that penthouse, go buy that car, go do what you got to do. Because remember, at the end of the day, when you set a goal, you have to know when you accomplish that goal, what you're going to do with that goal. So for example, right, one of my goals is to make $100,000 a month. Right. But it's not just, I want to make $100,000 a month. Is okay. When I get the $100,000 a month, what am I going to do with that $100,000 a month? Okay. Right. How much of that is going to go towards, my family? How much of that is going to go towards, an investment fund? How much of that is going to go towards myself? You have to know exactly what you're going to do when you get to that level that you're looking for, whether it's a rank, whether it's a house, whatever it is, you have to know exactly what you're going to do once you're there. And you have to plan it. It has to kind of be like a plan. But remember, the key to the whole thing is you will ask, you will receive. By law, you're going to receive because whatever you ask, you receive. The thing is that you have to be on the vibration to allow. And that's where a lot of people get lost right there. A lot of people are asking and they are receiving. They're just not on the frequency to realize that they are receiving. You see how that it's crazy how it works. But if you can understand it, it'll change everything for you. Because, for example, somebody can ask, hey, I want to make a certain amount of money a month, right? And they'll receive an opportunity to make that kind of money a month. But because they're not vibrating at a high level, they don't see it as an opportunity. They see it as this person is trying to take away from me, or you know what, I'm not going to go to that event because I'm struggling financially, or, and they won't go, not knowing that opportunity was what they needed in order for them to get to that next level. But because they weren't in a state of allowing, they couldn't see it or allow it in. So my best advice is get in a state of allowing, so that when exactly, look at it's an 11:11 message, right? Yeah. Stay in a state of allowing, because when you're in a state of allowing, you'll realize everything that's being presented to you, because you'll be on a high vibration, and everything that's on a high vibration is for you. So you'll realize the people, you'll realize the situations, you'll realize the circumstances. You'll even look at the challenges as blessings, because you know that this opportunity that's being presented to you at this very point in time is for you to help you accomplish that. So remember, you ask, you'll always receive, but the key is you got to allow. Your hands got to be open to allow it all in, and your intuition will tell you what to do once you're there.
Thank you.
Hope that
I'm
answers
just
the
feeling
question.
so much. I'm literally being raised right now. So this is exactly what I needed, because I think that I was trying to understand, I guess, that when you get there, there's not going to be any kind of disconnection within. You're just going to know, like, this is what I need to do. There's no wondering if this and
Nah,
that.
you'll be
Yeah.
clear. Like, you'll know, like, your intuition will tell you, like, yup, talk to that person. Yup, take this opportunity. Yup, this is a circumstance for you. You'll just know, because I realize those things. Like, for example, you know, when you're vibrating at a high level, your intuition will tell you, like, talk to that person. And then you talk to that person and you realize, like, yo, I am so thankful I talked to that person, because that person had a message for me. That person related with me. Or, you know, you'll get an opportunity to do something, and then you take the opportunity. And then at the end of the opportunity, you realize, like, wow, what if I would have never taken it? I would have missed that chance right there. So, you know, when you're at that high vibration, you'll see that things just start to fall in your path for them to work. And it is incredible. So I'm glad that, you know, you got that from that and you learned that here.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you as well, fam. Good stuff right there. Good stuff. Guys, let's put some fire emojis in the chat for our last few speakers that shared their stories, shared the things that, you know, they liked and they loved, and have been asking really, really good questions as well. Let's see. Let's go with my brother, Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson, I'm going to unmute you. Introduce yourself, brother. Where you from?
Shoot, my name is Brandon. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I actually got started jumping on Morning with Neno after I got on with I Am. And I mean, I haven't been trading so much, but I still stay connected with you on the mindset thing. And ever since I started listening to you, my life has just been really taken off. Like I actually am a journeyman in the IBW, the local electrical union international. And I had an idea when I was in my apprenticeship to make our job a lot easier. And I sat on it for like 3 years. And so, like, after I started listening to you, it came back to me. And I actually went for it. And I actually have my provisional patent for it. And so, like, that means it's about to be, like, it's becoming a thing. Like, it's going to be international. Because, like, that's just how big it is. And, like, I actually even started, like, sorry, I'm getting all choked up because I didn't know you were going to follow me. And so, like, I really, like, the conversation you and Iman was just having, like, it was really true for my life right now.
Put the speaker close to your mouth, because it's kind of cutting out a little bit.
All right, hold on, let me change you to the speaker. Okay, so
yeah, so
like,
much.
I've been doing a lot of thinking and growing rich. So, like, I've been putting a lot of things together. Like, I'm I just got my real estate license, or not real estate license, insurance license. And then I'm learning to do taxes. And then, like, I'm also just kind of invested into real estate as well, and partnered up with a system. Like, all of these things that I've done or gotten into have a system in wealth generation from the ground up. If you understanding money truly, and understanding what we're being forced to deal with on a day-to-day, like people having to deal with IRS, not really knowing what's going on. I'm actually even started a nonprofit to, like, I at least got the EIN. I'm looking to build it up. And actually, I was praying to God that you would be kind of one of the board members to help me build this, because I want to go around teaching people these things with the principles that we've been learning, because I'm actually going to family reunion in Chicago. And
I'm going too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
I'm here. Oh, you gonna love my suit, bro. And I just, yo, check these shoes, fam. Check these shoes. Oh, man. Hold on. Super clean. Super clean, fam.
Let's go. You're gonna be looking good. You're gonna be looking spliffy, baby. Let's go. I love to see it.
Well, listen, I got the backup pair too. I got the backup pair.
Oh, you coming with the white ones too? Okay.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I
Coming
love it.
super clean.
You preparing early.
Listen. I even booked myself a business class, my first business flight, bro, just to see what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? Being in the airport access, I just had to try it out. I had to see what it was like. So I paid for it. You know what I mean? It wasn't first class, but shoot, we stepping up.
I already know. What's the question you got, brother? Talk to me.
Well, my question was basically if you would help me build my nonprofit, bro.
Hell yeah. Let's set up a phone call outside of Mornings with Neno, and let's talk a little bit more about it. You know, I know that's a whole conversation we gotta have so we could talk about what you want to do and everything like that. But yeah, bro, I'm down. I love to help out, and anything I could do to help you out and, you know, create a nonprofit to help others, I'm always down for it, bro.
Sure, I appreciate that, bro. God bless.
Yeah, hit me up on the side, bro. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna text you my number here in the chat. I'm gonna send you my number here so that way you can send me a text and we could lock it in and we could lock something in at some point. All right, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you at family reunion, bro.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it,
there.
God bless, bro.
God bless you.
Let's go, my brother Brandon. Great energy. Love that. Family reunion is gonna be lit. I'm excited for that. Let me see who we got next. I'm gonna go with Prez next. Prez, you ready? Let me see where you at.
Okay, I unmuted me. Did it work?
Yeah, it did. I can hear you.
Hi, familia, Grand Rising, Mornings with Neno family. So I'm Prez. It's nice to meet you all. Okay, so one thing that I've learned and one thing that I can honestly say from this whole community is just that living in the present moment, we all take the time to, you know, truly get centered with ourselves. We're all God oriented. And I really love that because I always felt like I was different from most people, like how I think it was Titi had said that, you know, people would always look at her kind of differently because of the things that she was into. So I kind of resonated with that. But I just love the community. I love the energy. Like I got in connection with your calls back in 2020 of April. I didn't stick with I am, but I stuck with you. And it's because of the calls. It's because of the dedication, the consistency. I love that you're in, I love that you're in baseball because my son is in baseball. I was actually pregnant my sophomore year with him, rounding bases. So I think it's dope. I love everything that you do. I'm just grateful for this moment. Thank you, God, for this moment. So that kind of answers says, you know, one thing that I love and one thing that I learned. But my question, let me just get straight to the point. It's kind of on the verge of Iman's, but mine's a little different. You had this conversation with Julie and you had told her she was getting ready to hit her rank in the business. And you had a conversation with her about the art of allowance. I'm tapping into that, like, to the best of my abilities. But my thing is, I know that there's my weak spots. I know that I have resistant blocks. I've seen my manifestations come in, but working on those C-type goals, you know, they were B-type goals. And now they change. And, you know, gradually they start to change because you start to see that you can accomplish these goals as you consistently stay disciplined with the personal development, with the AM daily routine and so on and so forth, and audios and stuff. But I guess like you see the things that are coming in, and I want to know how you can channel the energy. It's like I'm focusing all my energy to transfer it into this one specific zone in my area of life. and it just ain't working. So dígame, tell me how it is that you do it. What do you do? What is your salsa? Give it to me so I can add my salsa on there and we can call it a day. Okay? That's what I need to know.
No,
Hi,
that's
Crispy. Hold on. Espérate. I need to say hi, Crispy. My sissy's on here. So she gets on these calls with me too. After we get off the phone, like, Crispy, did you hear the message? We heard the message. So we love you so much. I'm so grateful for you, Neno. Like, I think you're freaking amazing. My daughter loves you. Like, whenever I slack on Neno, she says, Mom, are you getting on Neno? I'm like, yes, I am, baby. I'm going to get on Neno. And she's like, well, we should listen to now. So I put on a different one for her. And so it's great. I love you. I think you're amazing. Keep doing what you're doing, but tell me my question, my thingy, my answer, please.
okay. So you're telling me you're directing all this energy towards a goal.
Yeah.
And you feel like it's not working, or is it
Oh.
is you feel like, is there a blockage, or what is it?
I'm going to tell you, it's my patience level, because I know what it is that I'm capable of. I've known since I was younger how I can think of something and it happens like that. And so I've always kind of struggled with like, okay, are you like, what's wrong with you simply, because it's not, well, for me, I didn't take it on as like, I thought it was kind of, weird because other people didn't have certain type of gifts that God blesses us with. So I had to work on that, accepting, what it is that we're capable with our mind. You feel me? So once it is that I accepted that greatness within me and within others, I just need to know how it is that I remove, like your hands are open, you can't catch it without the mitt being open. The ball is just a boink like that. So my hands are not closed because I know that the manifestations are coming in. It's just this one level, and it's my financial level. It's grown, but like how we did the trend line thingy, my pullback, I'm staying right there. And like Drew said, I'm in consolidation, mi amor. I need to get past my resistance level. Like, we've been at support for too long. We need to figure it out.
So, and I'm glad that you asked this question, because this is a really, really good question. And I had this happen to me, right? And it's happened to me a lot throughout the journey.
Yeah.
And I've learned that, and this is something that I've learned, and it's a hard thing to develop, right? And this is what I've learned, is that you can't attract what you want. You can only attract what you already are.
Bet. Okay. We'll see.
So listen to it one more time. You can't attract what you want. You can only attract what you already are, right? So the only way that you're going to be able to get what it is that you're asking for is that you already have to be it. So you got to think about it. Who is Prez going to be when she has that goal or she makes that certain amount of money? You need to live in that feeling. You need to walk as that person. You need to speak as that person. You need to act. You got to wake up. You need to already be that person so that you can really allow that in, because what you want is outside of your radar right now. And the only way that you can get something outside of your radar to come in is that you already have to be it. You have to be it. You got to be it first. So remember, you can't attract what you want. You can only attract what you are. It's only what you are that you can attract. So you got to ask yourself, are you that person that you want to be? Right? You got to, that's the first question. That's the question you should be asking yourself. Are you acting like the person in that goal? Are you speaking like that person? Are you waking up at the same time as that person would wake up? Are you taking actions like that person takes action? You have to be that person first in order for you to attract what it is that that person wants, right? So you got to be it. You got to be it, and you got to be it for a period of time so that it can come in.
Okay, because I've been working. It's on my goal. Like, it's right here, Sally, right here. It's on my goal. Working on my self-image. So it's a process, and I, like Iman said,
it is a process, and it's difficult because, like you said, sometimes we go through these financial issues, and one day is good, one day is bad, one day you're behind on the bills and something like that, and it's so hard for you to see yourself, as that person that you want to be when you're dealing with these things. But that's the challenge that you got to get through right there.
I know.
It's being able to see yourself as that person, even though you're struggling financially. You know, that was, I actually talked about it the other day on Mornings with Nano. I said it like, yo, that is one of the biggest challenges we're going to go through is, speaking is seeing it, even though the bank account doesn't look the way that it's supposed to look like, even though, can you still see it? Can you still be it? Can you still feel it? Even though that's the key right there.
Okay, that I'm so grateful for this moment because this was really, I was like thinking, we're doing a Q&A press. You got some big hefty questions, but what's the main one that you're having issues with? And it's this one, like, so I'm going to put more notes and put a little bit more sauce and flair on it. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you so much for picking me because I really feel like I'm going to have a breakthrough along with everybody else. I wish breakthroughs to everybody, the whole Mornings with Neno familia. I love you guys all and keep doing what you're doing, Neno. Keep doing it. And because you're doing a good job. Ooh, you're doing a good job.
Nah, for sure. Oh, I appreciate that. Look, something I would recommend that you do is every night before you go to bed, practice subjective control. Do you got the book, The Power of Awareness?
Look, it's right here.
Read chapter 12 every night before you go to bed and practice what it says every night. That's where the block is subconsciously. The block is subconscious. So you got to work on subjective control. You got to learn subjective control. That's the key to everything. Once you learn subjective control, everything will change in the objective.
Okay, bet.
And fall asleep listening to like visualizations, affirmations.
Yeah, the Hertz music, all that stuff. Like I try to do my best. Well, I do my best to get what it is that I know is what it is that's required of me to get to the next level. And you tell us what it is that you do to get to the next level. So it's more so about discipline and running the play and just kind of just do what it is that need to get done. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this.
You have phenomenal energy, fam. You just got to learn how to channel that energy more effectively and you're going to get everything. You're going to have that breakthrough that you deserve. Like you said, you're consolidating, but you got to hold that energy and keep it solid long enough until you break through. You're going to break through soon. What I would recommend is read those chapters every day, become the individual that you want to become, and stay as consistent as you can until the breakthrough happens. You will know when the breakthrough happens, but you can't stop until it happens.
Okay. Because I'm right there. I'm just stay focused, Press. Like you're right there.
Stay focused. You're right there. Just keep going. Keep pushing, head down. As a matter of fact, if anything, do more, read more, listen to more audios, meditate for a little bit more, put a little bit more into it, and trust me, it'll come.
Objective. Okay, thanks so much, love. I appreciate you. Love you guys.
Love you, fam. Great job. That was awesome. Love her energy. She was amazing. We'll do two more people. Two more. My guy Pierre, he raised his hand, so you caught my attention. I'm gonna have to pick you, bro.
I'm really glad that I did that. I appreciate you, Nano. I've actually been here. I'm from high school with Justin Smith. I feel like you know him.
Yeah, my guy. Come on.
That's your guy. I know. It's a blessing to be speaking with you right now. One of the most important things that I've gained from this is being able to implement my morning routine. I'm on day 26. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. in the morning and I run 3 miles, and it's been feeling amazing. So that's a beautiful thing. Something that I've learned, why I love this, what I love is this community. I love the community. I love the aspects of this networking, and I love the prosperity that everybody feels with one another. And when you say that you can feel the energy through the chats, I can feel it in my space, in my surroundings, and that's important for me. So my question to you is, I just got done with a really, really hard breakup, right? And I'm just curious as to how you've handled losing things in your life that have been very, very, very important to you. Or maybe some of the most important things to you that have losing people in your life that have changed everything for you, and then now they're gone. I want to know about that personal experience for yourself on a deep level.
No, yeah, I know you're talking real stuff. Those things are difficult, bro. I'll be honest with you. Those are not things that, can just happen overnight, or, there's a healing process that you have to go through. You know what I'm saying? There's a healing process that you have to go through. But my best advice is something that I've learned the other day, is, when something happens, you got to do these 3 things. The first thing is you got to understand that it is what it is, right? If you're going through that breakup, it was supposed to happen. If it was supposed to be the other way, it would have been the other way, but it's not that way. So you have to kind of accept it for what it is and respect it for what it is. Yo, this is happening. I'm going through a tough breakup. It is what it is. Now, the second thing you want to do is you want to always harvest the good, right? What was good that you got out of it? So let me ask you that, Pierre. What good came out of this breakup? What do you feel like you learned from it? What was it that you feel like, came out of it? If you could tell me maybe 1 or 2 things that you feel like you've learned from this breakup.
I got you. Actually, I'll be vulnerable for real. So this woman, she taught me love. She taught me how to. So I got a relationship with my mom where I never told her I love her. I've never had hugs before, just because my mom, she old, you know what I mean? Old school people, sometimes they don't be showing their emotions that much. And then when you're raised around that, you start to not show your emotions that much too much either. But now I can be expressive on a call with 90 people and say that I couldn't tell my mom I love you. But after being in a relationship with a woman that encompassed so much love, she got me to a space where I could be expressive. So she taught me to express myself. She taught me to take off my mask of my false stability inside myself. And She taught me that we could get outside of a relationship with one another and still love each other. And that's the hardest part, because she's not a bad woman and I'm not a bad man. It's just, I'm seeking for the sky right now, and it's a little intimidating for another 20-year-old to be doing that right next to me.
Yeah, no, I respect that, bro. And that was powerful, bro. I'm sure that that hit me. I'm sure it hit a lot of people on this call. It's so funny that you say that, bro, because growing up, my parents were kind of like that too, and I naturally started to look at it, and I used to be like, man, like I've never really told my parents, like, I love you and, all of this. And I started to do it recently, bro. Like, I started to tell my parents how much I love them and how much I appreciate them. And you could see that, that means a lot to them, because it's something that, we never did growing up. Like, it was like, kind of like, we knew we loved each other, but we didn't have to verbally say it. It was kind of like that kind of love. And I'm sure that that's kind of the love that you had with your mom, right? That's kind of like that old school love. Like, we know you love, we know we love each other based off of like just the energy that we're in. But sometimes it's like not verbally, announced. And honestly, bro, this last few years, as I've gotten older and my parents have gotten older as well, I'm like, bro, I don't want to live, I don't want them to live the last few years of their life not knowing how I actually feel about them, and I've started to share how much I love them and, how much I appreciate them, and letting them know like, yo, it's because of y'all that this is happening for me, and expressing myself. But to get back to the topic, I could tell that you've learned a lot of valuable lessons. And what I want you to understand is that, bro, you're super young still, bro. Like, bro, I'm telling you, bro, if I could go back to 20 years old, like, I'm telling you, everything that's happening for you is happening at the perfect time, bro. Like, you're so young, you're 20 years young, bro, and you still have so much more to learn. And this may not even be, your only breakup. You may experience, a few more along the road, and hopefully you don't. Maybe the next girl you meet is the girl you marry. We just don't know how life is going to go. But you're going to have people in your life that are there for a lesson, or they're going to be there for a reason. And you got to see what it was. Maybe she was just there for that lesson, bro. She was there to teach you those lessons that you just expressed to me. And those lessons, will last you a lifetime, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and like you said, you can still have a relationship with her. You can still love her. You can still appreciate her. It's just, you guys are not going to be girlfriend and boyfriend anymore. So what you do is you understand, number one, that it is what it is. Number two, you harvest the good. Make sure that you get all the good from that. Don't focus on the negative. Don't focus that, the relationship didn't work out. Don't focus on any of that. Focus on only the good. And then the last thing is forgive and let it go, bro. like forgive, like, yo, forgive her for what it was. Forgive her for, you know, hurting you in any way that she did. Forgive yourself if you hurt her in any way, you know, and just let it go and let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. If it's meant to be for you guys to be together, I've heard stories of relationships that were left, and then a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, they ended up getting married and having kids. So if it's meant to be, it'll come back. And if it's not, you'll meet somebody better that was, you know, meant for you, my brother. So, you know, that's what I would say. It is what it is. Harvest the good, forgive, and let go.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that, Nemo. I really do.
And I appreciate you being vulnerable with all of us, bro. It means a lot, bro.
Yes, yes, I appreciate it. I want to give one more piece of gratitude to you. I see that you are an aware and conscious individual, and I'm an aware and conscious individual, and sometimes it gets alone in this journey of seeing things that other people don't want to see.
It
Because you
does.
can't communicate it all the time to the people in your surroundings. And I say that you give me hope to know that there's another community out there that is able to get outside of the matrix and find themselves in a better and prosperous situation. Thank you.
Always, fam. I'm always here, bro. We're always here, bro. I know sometimes it does feel like we're alone in this, but that's why I love Mornings with Nano so much, because it reminds me that I'm actually not alone, you know, because Mornings with Nano, every morning I hop on and there's hundreds and thousands of people that think alike, you know, that are here with us. And, you know, it's something that is difficult because if you think about it, we're a very, very small percentage of people that are actually thinking like this, vibrate like this, and it's super, super powerful, bro. So just know we always here for you, my brother, all right?
Thank you.
Awesome, man. This has been amazing. Nani, I'm going to do you last so you can wrap it up. All right. You'll be last. I've been seeing you there. And we're going to wrap it up right there. So take it away, my sis.
Pierre, I just want to shout you out real quick because I just cried. Like, you just made me super emotional, because it is true. This journey could get so lonely, and I've been feeling that lately. Neno, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for calling on me. Wow, as soon as I unmute myself, my heart starts beating like crazy. But I wrote it down this time. So, you know, Mornings with Neno has definitely been that pivotal thing in my life, because today marks 2 years in I Am Mastery Academy. I'm so proud of my growth, and I can only thank you, Neno, because you have been there since not even day one, like before day one, before I even started. So I was listening to Neno in the Bronx, really in the trenches, and it's literally has been like, it transformed me. You know, I was depressed. I was, you know, around the wrong people, and I've been able to surpass potentials that I've never thought that I would reach. So thank you so much for that. You know, lately in my journey, I've been here for 2 years, and I feel like every month I grow different, but I go through different challenges. And, you know, I've been doing my morning routine. I've been doing my night routine. I've been doing this 90-day run for 52 days. Waking up at 5 a.m, reading. I also instilled the working out, and just, you know, as well as improving my mental state, improving my emotional intelligence, and also improving my physical. And I feel like that goes hand in hand with everything. One thing that I've been going through is, yes, I've been feeling really lonely about this, because, you know, there are individuals who say they want to surpass and they want to do this, and they get so excited in the first couple months, then they fall off. And some people feel like they learn for a good 3 months and then they leave, and they feel like they can do this by themselves. So right now I feel like I've been consolidating. Yes, like I've attracted certain things in my life, and I accomplished 2 or 3 goals. So my question to you is mostly about just building this business. I understand that there's,
you know, people on this call probably that are not in this business, but when you, for example, this kind of has to go hand in hand with Pierre's question. When you lose, for example, a rank or a trade, or, you know, and it's something consistent that happens, how do you bounce back from a big loss or a big lesson? Because I feel like sometimes I beat myself up and I spent hours literally like I just be like, girl, why didn't you wake up at this time? Or damn, like, why did you snooze? Or like, why didn't you work out today? So how do you bounce back from a big loss is my question.
Well, that's a phenomenal question. Thank you, Nani, for all the love and everything. I'm so glad that you've been here. Congratulations on the 2 years as well.
Let's go.
I've taken big losses, many of them. And sometimes you just have to kind of let it go. And just, you know, sometimes you just have to be mad about it, right? But you're mad about it, but you have to, like, because it's an emotion at the end of the day. And you could be mad about it, but it has to be brief, right? And then you have to be like, okay, you kind of got to get over yourself. And then, all right, you have to start to understand what caused, right? What caused this to happen. And something that I've done after every big loss is I've always gone back and evaluated everything, the situation and the circumstance that caused, because remember, you taking the big loss is the effect, right? But what was it that caused it? And that's where you got to look. Your answers and everything that you're looking for is in the cause, right? Because there's the law of cause and effect. And the effect is the big loss, but what was the cause? So you have to sit down and you have to evaluate what were the actions that you took prior to this? You know, what were the words that you were speaking prior to this? What were the emotions that you were feeling prior to this, right? And really understanding it. So, for example, when I first hit chairman, right? I hit chairman 10 and then I de-ranked down to platinum 1000, right? So I went from making 10,000 a month to $1,000 a month. That was a tough moment for me. Now, I was mad, I was frustrated, but I had to get to the point where now it was time to evaluate, well, all right, Nano, why did you lose your income? Okay, I started to look at it on a business level. Well, I didn't build relationships. I didn't have systems. I stopped doing the things that I was doing before I got there, you know, so on and so forth. I started looking at it on a business level. Then I started to look at it on a spiritual level, right? I was actually scared, you know, that one of the things, the reason why it happened too, it was like, I was feeling feelings of worry, fear that I was going to lose it. So even before I hit it, I already had fear that I was going to lose it when I got it. So, you know, I was like, damn, like I haven't even got it, but I already have a fear of losing it and I don't even have it yet. So, you know, that was one of the feelings I had. You know, another thing I forgot to give glory to God when I got it, you know, and then I started to look at it on a spiritual level as well. And I was like, damn. So now I started to understand the whole situation. Like I got down to like the root level as to why I took that big loss. And I understood it on a business level. I understood it on a spiritual level. And then what I did was, okay, I accepted the loss that I took, the lesson. And then what I did was I designed a plan based off of the mistakes that I had made in the past. So I didn't give glory to God on a spiritual level. Then now I was giving glory to God every day. You know, I didn't evaluate myself. Now I was evaluating myself weekly. You know, I didn't build relationships. Now I was building relationships. I didn't have systems in place. Now I designed systems for myself, you know, and I just started to do everything. So once you evaluate and you realize what was it that caused it, now what you got to do is design a plan around the things that you weren't doing and start to do them now. And then you run it up again, test it out again, see what happens. If it works, great, you got through that challenge. If it doesn't, you have to come back and redo it again. You know, so that's what I've done, because I understand that when you take those losses, it just means that God is exposing the areas in your life where you're weak, right? So when I took that loss, God exposed the systems in my business. He exposed my lack of glory to him. He exposed a lot of things that then I was able to go back and work on and then design a new plan, because if I did it once, I knew I could do it again. So I'm like, I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to do it with these adjustments. And like I always teach, right? you know, amateurs don't adjust, professionals do, right? If you're a professional, you got 2 years in this business, an amateur doesn't adjust. An amateur just quits. A professional will adjust and move forward. So it's up to you now to make that adjustment and move forward.
Wow, thank you so much for that. I'm like writing, I'm typing it. I'm typing all the answers there. But another thing that I want to also let you know is that I've learned so much from you when it comes to emotional intelligence, because I feel like I've battled through that a lot. I'm a type of person, I'm also a Gemini. Let me just put that out there.
Let's go. Gemini.
I care so much, but I'm so passionate. Like, you know, if I'm with it all the way. So I learned to not take things personal, because that's where I feel like that's where I kind of mess up at, because if someone leaves my business, I can't just be like, I can't take that personal. Sometimes people choose what they want to do, or sometimes people just have to learn themselves. And I have to be okay with, there's one thing that you said one day, you gotta let people leave with your wisdom or something like that.
You're not a mentor until you allow others to walk away with your wisdom.
There we go. That's definitely has been on my mind every single day, and I gotta accept it. I have to let go, and I do gotta do more evaluations. I feel like I've been slacking on that. So thank you so much. And I want to thank everybody in the Mornings with Neno community. Little do you guys know, I learned from all of you guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless. And I hope you have a great day.
Let's go. Amazing, Nani. That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go. Wow, fam. Successful Q&A. That was powerful. Guys, if you guys got value from this Q&A, put some threes in the chat box if you guys got some value from today's Q&A. I'm super blessed, super grateful. I'm actually going to be doing a quick book giveaway. Okay, I want to tell you guys about something really fast. And I want to make sure that you guys know about this. But, you know, just recently I got asked to come speak at and be a part of a documentary. And I want to share with you guys here real quick so you guys can see it. But, you know, I got asked to speak on this documentary. It's a documentary about people who's gone through certain trials and tribulations, and they've been able to turn them into, you know, success stories. So here it is. Let me share it with you guys. I fell into depression. I fell into, you know, just a very confused part of my life. I hit rock bottom, and it was tough. For the first time in my life, I had no sense of direction. I was completely lost, no idea what the next step in my life was going to be. And I was just trying to find out what that next step was, but it was so hard because I didn't know what I was good at. And I feel like that's a challenge that a lot of athletes go through when they have dedicated so much time to a sport and they had those dreams of becoming that professional baseball player, and now those dreams are gone, and it's like, what now? So that was like my first real test of struggle. So I actually just posted that right there on my story. I mean, I've actually posted the reels for that, but if you guys can go and leave a comment and like help me actually get something behind it, you know, I would really appreciate it. I'm actually doing a book giveaway. So if you can go in the comment section and share a little quick story of what is a failure that you've gone through, that you've overcome, that you've turned into a success. I'm going to be looking for 2 people. And out of those 2 people, I'm going to be picking 2 people that I'm going to be buying you a book of choice that has changed my life. One of the books that I'm currently reading right now, it's a secret book that I'm reading, and I haven't actually shared it with nobody. I'll buy that book for you. If, you know, I'll pick 2 people to buy that book for. Okay. So if you could go on my Instagram and leave a comment in the section below, leave a comment, share a quick story. Only those that share the story, I will be able to, you know, help you participate in the book giveaway. And if not, you know, even just leaving a comment, yo, fire video, so on and so forth, it'll mean a lot to me. But I'm actually going to be also putting the link to the, and I'm going to be putting the link to the documentary in the chat. I mean, sorry, in my, here it is, in my bio. so that way, if you guys want to pre-order it, so you guys can have access to it as well. That way you guys can get in there. So the link will be in my bio if you guys want to pre-order the documentary. Is going to be super dope. You're going to be able to learn a lot of fire stories from a lot of different people on how they turn their trials into triumphs. And it's super dope. So anybody who shows me love, fam, I really appreciate you guys. I'm super, super grateful. And this is super, super key for a lot of us to grow in different areas and be able to, you know, do something. So if you guys want those, if you guys want the secret sauce, I have a book that's a secret sauce, and I will buy it for you as a gift. Okay, if you leave a comment, all right, on what is one failure that you've turned into a success. Short story. It doesn't have to be, you know, nothing crazy, nothing long, just a short story of a failure that you turned into a success, fam. But with that being said, I love you guys so much. I'm so glad that we have a really, really successful you know, Q&A today. You know, we do these every once in a while, and I'm glad that we had a good one today. All right, fam. So I'm going to do a quick prayer for all of us, and then I'm going to wrap it up from here. All right, quick prayer. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with this beautiful Friday morning that we get a chance to grow and elevate. This week has been filled with so many breakthroughs and just so many answers that we all needed. You've been constantly developing us and pouring into us daily. And the work is starting to show, God. A lot of people are truly growing. A lot of people are elevating. A lot of people are understanding this information better than I've ever seen before. And I know that bigger breakthroughs are coming. I know that bigger blessings are coming for all the individuals that are here. So we open our hands and we are open to receive. We are allowing all the blessings, all the amazing energies, the abundance, the peace, the love, the happiness that's coming into our lives. We accept it with open hands. And we thank you ahead of time for all the great things that you're doing for us, Father. We will continue to grow. We will continue to follow your lead. And we are excited to have another great Friday and another great rest of our weekend, Father. So we love you and we appreciate you. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet. And like I said again, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at Long Live Neno. Long Live Neno is my Instagram. That is my only Instagram. Okay. And I will never ask you for money, but what I will appreciate is if everybody can go out there and just leave a like, leave a comment in the video and the reel that I just posted, so that way each and every single one of us can, you know, just get a really good idea of what it is that is going to happen and just be a part of this incredible documentary that my brother Freddie is dropping that is going to include a lot of people's stories, fam. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll be looking forward to y'all comments. I'm literally going to be commenting back to everybody's stuff right now. So thank you guys so much and appreciate everybody who's been here since 10 a.m., fam. For real.